I'm going to do a couple training videos on showing how to repair the WoodMaxx product. I'm just a hobbyist. I'm not a mechanic or anything, so some things I do you could probably do much better than I can. So I'm just going to demonstrate how easy it is to repair if you have any problems. This video is going to be on how to remove the roller bearings and install new ones. Right now we just removed the grease fittings on both sides. Now we're removing the 2 bolts on each side to remove the bracket. Now we're going to take the ends and we're going to remove the oil seal first. Now the clip ring, which holds the bearings in place, needs to be removed. Now we have to remove the bearing housing from the bracket. After we remove the bearings from the bracket, usually I take a paper towel and try to clean as much grease off as I can. That one we got clean. I take the exact right size socket and I just put it on the press to press the bearings out. Next, we get ready to install the new set of bearings. Lay the new set of bearings in. Just barely tap the edge just to make sure they're, just catching. Now we're going to use the press again and just press the new set in. And you got to press it all the way down so you can get the locking ring installed. After that, put the locking ring in place and make sure it's snapped into position. and do both bearing sets that way. Next, the most important thing to do is to pack the bearings. I take a grease gun with a needle that injects the grease in between the balls into the middle. Considering it has double rows of bearings, you need to get the grease in between them. Always put a nice coat of grease, and then I do the same thing to the other side also. Don't rely on the grease fitting to achieve grease into the bearings originally. When you start out, you have to pack the bearings. Now you put the grease seal in. That one's ready to install back on the bracket. Right now we're using Loctite for each one of the Allen screws. This is so they do not vibrate out. Now insert the Allen screws in. Usually I snug it down by hand first. After you snug it down, look in the manual and find out the torque rating that each of the screws require, and torque each one of the screws down to the specification. One bracket down, ready to go. Now we're doing the other side, injecting the grease into the bearings just like we did before. I try to push the grease into the bearings as much as I can. And then put the grease seal in. That side's ready to go. Now we're going to put Loctite back on the screws. and torque down each one of the screws to the specs. Now you need to press on the bearings on the shaft. I always put a 2x4 to keep it square and just hit the back of the 2x4. And do the other side too, the same way. I use the 2x4 on it because it keeps it square and keeps less stress on it. Now we're screwing the bracket back onto the machine. And we're done. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I hope this was useful to you.